So what just happened was I read everything out loud. For some reason, the phone stopped recording. What do you do? I should have decided this before hitting record. I think I'm deciding that I'm not going to redo all of it because truthfully, it was a pretty, I was kind of just talking and having fun with it, which is fine. But in terms of actually understanding the material, it wasn't the most efficient way to do it. Like if you're trying to learn the Bible in a year, genuinely use an accredited other source that is more streamlined than what I'm doing right now, because this is my own little thing that I want to do, my own little pursuit. And because of that, I don't think I'm going to reread all of it out loud because I know that I've already done that. I don't have to prove anything, and you're probably not going to get a ton of value out of it anyways, because I can just tell you exactly what I just read. This will be a good little teaching moment. And hopefully that doesn't happen in the future. So we read, I just lost one of them. What was that? First Chronicles 1 5 through 23. Okay, I have both pulled up. Bear with me. Sorry. So I just read Genesis chapters 7 through 10 from the New International Version, and I'll tell you what it said. Starting off, the Lord then said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate. And also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made." That's what we're setting up. I know I just said I wasn't going to read that, but that's a good one. So what happened was why am I reading this? What happened was the flood came, all of the mountaintops were covered by water, and it used a lot of redundant speech, redundant text. I also looked up that oh man, this is messy. Redundant, I thought had a negative connotation, but I looked it up and it's just purely redundant, like over and over and over again. Just repetitive, I guess. Beating a dead horse, if you will, but not in a bad way. So this is kind of fun, actually, just talking. Bear with me. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create this for you. All of the animals came onto the ark, and it was Noah, his wife, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and then their wives, and then 1 of every kind, male and female, on the ark, were on the ark, and it said on the 150th day. Oh boy, there's a lot of exact, it said that Noah, it's very precise in its language. If you're curious, read it yourself. It tells you it was on this day of this month of Noah's 900 and, well, he lived to be 950 is what the text says, but it said that you'll have to see how precise the text is and how repetitive it is. For example, First Chronicles in Genesis chapter 10, it's verbatim. It's exactly the same text. So I when I just got done recording, I was constantly just skeptical. I was like, what is going, where did I, from yesterday's long genealogical list. Anyways, the Noah, flood came, flood receded, everything dispersed from the ark, and repopulated the earth. God said, go out and increase in numbers, be fruitful, and supposedly all of today's humans owe their roots to Noah, Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Is the other one Ham? I just said it. And their wives. So there you go. Okay, so for example, it says, by the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. That's my point exactly, what I was trying to get at. So then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and taking some of the clean animals and clean birds, he sacrificed burnt offerings on it. God smelled the pleasant aroma and was very satisfied. And he said, as long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. This is God's covenant with Noah. The rainbow, it says that God, whenever there's a rainbow in the sky, he remembers his covenant with every living creature on earth. He also says, whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed, for in the image of God has God made mankind. As for you, be fruitful and increase in number, multiply on the earth and increase upon it, telling us that sex is a good thing and it's supposed to be used in a very intentional way. The sons of Noah. Okay, sorry, forgive me. Then Noah comes out of the ark, plants a vineyard, drinks the wine, gets drunk, is naked in his tent, Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his two brothers outside. Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Then they walked in backward and covered their father's naked body. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves. Will he be to his brothers? And I'm honestly a little bit confused. I need to look more into this because I don't know exactly what Canaan did. It sounds like he just told... what? Ham, the father of Canaan? What is going on? Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked. Ham is the father of Canaan, and Ham is son to Noah. So then cursed be Canaan. Ham is the father of Canaan. Huh. What? Maybe? Okay. Again, this is just extremely unedited content at the moment because this is daily. I'm not going to edit everything precisely so it's enjoyable for other people. I'm kidding. We'll get there. Just not right now. Yeah, I need to look more into that. I don't entirely understand it. Genesis chapter 10 is titled The Table of Nations. I don't know if it actually is in most Bibles, but it is on Bible Gateway, NIV. It says that this is the account of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons, who themselves had sons after the flood. This is an entirely genealogical list that is also in First Chronicles. The Japhethites, the Hamites, there were the Semites, the footnotes. I'm kidding. Anyways, that was kind of funny. Girgashites. So, okay. I did a horrible... okay. Genesis chapter 7 and 8 and 9 are all about the flood. No more flood. Covenant. Genesis chapter 10 is the genealogical list. 1 Chronicles 1, 5 through 23. This is another genealogical list, but I'll do it real quick because there's not actually much to it. Sorry. I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tabal, Meshech, and Tyrus. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish. The Kittites and the Rodanites. The sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Sheba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabdika. The sons of Ramah are Sheba and Dedan. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior on earth. Egypt was the father of the Ludites, Anamites, Lehabites, Naphtuhites, Pathrusites, Caslahites, from whom the Philistines came, and Caphtorites. Canaan was the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Archites, Sidonites, Arvadites, Simarites, Hamathites. I'm getting better at this. The Semites, so the sons of Shem were Elam, Asher, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uzhul, Gether, and Meshech. Arphaxad was the father of Shelah, and Shelah was the father of Eber. Two sons were born to Eber. One was named Peleg, because in his time the earth was divided. His brother was named Joktan. Joktan was the father of Almadad, Sheleph, Hazarmaveth, I'm kidding. Jorah, Hadaram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Ibamael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All of these were the sons of Joktan. The last recording I said all these were sons of Joktan, who got it on. How did it go? Joktan got it. Joktan got it on. I'm so confused with what the joke was. It was actually a little bit inappropriate. It was supposed to say that Joktan got it on, but it was more elegant than that. And then I jokingly said I shouldn't have said that, but he had a lot of sons. That's just documenting the sons. Nobody wrote down how many daughters he had. And there you go. That's Bible in a year, 2025. What a good year to do it on. I'm 24 years old. We need to kind of get going on life ambitions because you don't have very long here. I'm all grown up. I live on my own. I have a job. I have a mortgage. I'm kidding. It's an apartment. I have an apartment. And before you know it, I'm going to be dust in the ground. So I think before that happens, everybody should read this library of books. Everybody should read the Holy Bible. And obviously, a Muslim would say that everybody should read the Quran before you die. And Jews would say that you need to read the good book. You gotta read the Torah. I get that what I'm saying is incredibly biased. However, I have so much reason to believe that Jesus is the person he claimed to be. There's a lot of wisdom in this text. So that's my take on it. But thank you very much for watching. I hope that... Oh my gosh! I was just... Whatever. Check this out. Ooh. Yeah. Steady her out. That's a great one. Thank you for watching. I look forward to just continually improving and making fun videos about things that I enjoy. First day was hacky sacking and electric unicycling. Day 2 was pool, billiards. I'm trying to decide what I want to do right now. I have my pool glove in my pocket because I was planning on playing at some point today. I'm curious to think it'd be fun if every video was a different thing that I enjoyed. Imagine if you did 365 individual days like this, where it was like for example, what if we just did me spinning something on my finger? I don't know how long we're at right now, and I wouldn't use something as heavy as this, but we could do something lighter and it would just be just be this. And then the next day might be spinning a basketball. And the next day might be balancing a utensil on my nose and just, you know what I mean? Like, it could be really fun that way, but then also I need to think about not making it, like putting too much thought into it, because that will manifest itself into a little bit of stress, because then there's more to do and consider and contemplate. But again, the only thing that I'm trying to convey as much more than anything is Jesus loves you. You can become anything that you want to when you get older. You know that is infamous, like similar to notorious, where it has a negative connotation. Like, you know, the infamous example of, is that saying that it's bad? Is the word infamous good or bad? It's used sometimes sarcastically or for humorous effect. It is not a synonym for famous and shouldn't be used that way. It is the adjective form of infamy. Both words refer to an evil or scandalous history, a shameful or disgraceful reputation. Notoriety. 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 So does bad. I don't honestly remember why. I don't remember what the example was for why I was thinking of using it, famous or infamous. I guess I now knew that meant something bad. For something bad. Notoriety, though, I didn't actually know that word. I mean, I'm familiar with it. But, yeah. I want to read the dictionary, like the Merriam-Webster dictionary, cover to cover, like I'm doing with the Holy Bible, because I just think that would be a really interesting, fun thing. I mean, linguistics is really cool. It changes, it influences itself and other. Right now in this moment, I'm considering if I'm enjoying this or not, like talking on camera. By the way, is this still recording? Okay, that's good. That's good. I was about to say, you know, all right, day 3 Bible in a year, let's kick it. No, in this moment, I'm considering whether or not I enjoy doing this and want to continue doing it, being on camera, because thank you, because I have another YouTube channel and I plan on investing an absurd amount of time, energy, and resources into it, but I haven't taken it seriously yet, and I haven't uploaded in a very long time because it started to feel stressful thinking about having to do it, like it was taking fun out of it. And so I'm trying to think about right now whether or not I'm enjoying talking to a camera, on camera, and uploading it online for everybody to see. Because here's the thing, if I do go all in on my YouTube channel, like I've been wanting to, I've fathomed this idea for the past 2 years and 4 months, 3 months. It's going to come together. It's scary being incredibly vulnerable, especially online, when you can receive information from completely anonymous or unknown sources. There's trolls everywhere, and you just gotta not care what people think is what you gotta do. It goes for the same in reality too. Brush it off, you know, be like water. Yeah, I'm having fun. I just created another channel called The Podcast, but it's more like the podcast is what I intentionally wanted it to be in the beginning, but YouTube doesn't allow a channel name to have quotation marks. So I was like, well, how do we make it look like quotation marks? So I put 2 asterisks on the end of each word, or I guess the beginning of the and at the end of podcast. So it looks like it's enveloped by these quotation marks. But now when you read it, it looks like the podcast. It's like in your face, like, because an asterisk draws attention, like asterisk, you know, this is what this means. So when you have 2 here, 2 here, it's like, it's in your face. And I kind of like that. Because originally I wanted it to be the podcast because it's the same idea as this. It's talking and humans connecting over an interesting activity. Like podcasts are sit down, microphone in your mouth, let's talk. And I get that that's what a podcast is, but I want it to be a podcast where you're still doing all of the talking and human conversing and interaction and sharing ideas and, you know, thinking in different angles and whatnot. But I want to do it in a very interactive way, planned or not planned. You know, it's like we're going to have a podcast on like while we're off-roading. We're just gonna be in the car talking while we're traversing insane terrain. Like that's one thing that it could be that you could put planning and time into. And then another day it could be, hey, we're gonna do a podcast, come over. We're gonna do a podcast, come over, and we'll decide in the moment. A friend comes over, you wanna go to the shooting range? Yeah, let's go to the shooting range and talk about Jesus. Like that is something that I can see very, very clearly in my mind's eye of something that I want to look forward to in my future career. I don't ever want to retire entirely. I don't need that. In fact, I don't want that. I want to constantly be working towards something that I believe in and that I enjoy. It's like, yeah, no duh, but you can actually make that happen. And it starts when you're young, you know? I'm young, 24 isn't that young, but, you know, what do I want my 30s, my 40s, my 50s to look like? It's not working one single job from this time to this time with the majority of revenue going to this guy, and he's the one that tells me what I need to do. It's like, I don't mind, like right now I'm a server at the Cheesecake Factory. Love it. And since it's a corporation and there's so many locations, they need to make the experience from one to another the same, because that's so important for that to be the same experience. It's the same food, it's the same uniform, it's the same like decor. You need everything. You have the exact same menus. You need it to be done in this way. For example, when you deliver a cheesecake, you point it towards their heart. That way it's like, yeah, it's cheesecake, I love it. And the other way is that it's just a very nice like angle to present it. When you present food, you have the protein pointing towards them. Best bite forward. You never, you know, when you're starting, it's not a crazy expensive restaurant, but it is rather expensive. You know, a fettuccine alfredo with chicken, what is that, $30? $33? It's somewhere around there. I'm hesitant to say 36, but I know it can get that high. Maybe if you add chicken and shrimp on a dinner-sized portion pasta. But that's a good chunk of change for a single entree. As soon as food starts getting more and more expensive, the presentation becomes more and more important. And so I'm really enjoying that aspect of the food and beverage industry. I'll never work lower than what I am now. And when I say lower, I don't mean like lower. I mean like just lower service, because I enjoy providing exceptional service. I enjoy yes ma'am, no sir. Very polite, very orderly, very much head nodding. Can I get this? Would you like, yes ma'am, and sir, like, what am I getting at? It's just kind of therapeutic, you know? But the presentation becomes more and more important as the ticket price increases. And I enjoy serving and presenting high quality food that the guests can enjoy. Serving is so like, you're just so helpful. You just need to be helpful, have a good attitude, firm understanding of the menu. It doesn't really, when I'm food running, I hate it. Everybody does. It's just, it's exhausting, and you don't get paid nearly as much. But I did it for, 5 or 6 months to get to being a server, because you need to, well, for one, you need to know the food. Like, hey, can I have the beans on the Baja chicken tacos subbed out for buttered noodles? And you're like, I think, yeah, let me go check. And it turns out you can, and ask the head chef. I don't know who that was at the time. Anyways. You need to work. God made man to work. To work and to love and to create and to have dominion over the earth. I just read in the Bible that he gave us everything here for food, but you must not eat it with the lifeblood still in it. Why? Why didn't God want us to eat meat with lifeblood in it? Why do Muslims do that with their halal meat? It's interesting. We're on the right track. Jesus loves you. He wants a relationship with you. He is who he claimed and claims to be. He did die. He did come back to life. And he is coming back. And you really, really, really want to know him before that happens. As Christians, we're called to be disciples of, or create disciples. Go and it's like, this is what we're supposed to do. Wait, what are we supposed to do? No, go. I'm just trying to find the wording. Go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. This is real stuff. Everything around us, our hands and this physical reality that we're in, that we're ultimately restrained by, right? And we're going to inevitably succumb to it. From dust you came, to dust you will return. I know I'm not going to live forever, so I need to do something about that. I'm not going to prevent it, but what happens afterwards? I know it's in human nature to ask these questions, but if you don't have a satisfactory answer, I highly encourage you to do that. He's coming back. And I want to make it my life goal of sharing the good news of Jesus Christ of Nazareth to as many people as possible before I croak. There's this pastor that was born with no limbs. He just has a little chicken leg, like wing, on his, his torso. He, like, clearly that's debilitating, not debilitating, because he's amazing public speaker. I'll look in, maybe I won't. I was about to say I'm gonna look into what his name is, but I might forget. I don't like making promises that I can't keep. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, look up the chicken wing pastor guy. But he said, he was like, how amazing is it that I am part of God's army, that I've been chosen, handpicked, selected to carry out God's will, the will of God. And he doesn't have anything but his voice to do it with. When he moves, he just it's very, like, he cannot live a completely normal life, but I think he has a wife and kids too, which is amazing. He does, he absolutely does, because he's talked about not being able to hug his daughter back. But he looks forward to the day that he will be able to in heaven. The spiritual world is real. The devil exists. The Bible warns us that he is like a hungry lion looking for someone to devour. You can't let that happen. This world is full of temptations, and it's full of evil, and it's full of so many things that promise you, goodness, whatever that might mean. But there's really only one good, and as far as I'm concerned, it comes from God. You just got to be careful. When I mentioned earlier that sex is a gift from God and it's meant to be used intentionally and under a strict guideline of how and when it is to be conducted, just look at all of the ways that it, like, when you don't use it responsibly, you have unplanned pregnancies, which can sometimes turn into abortions. You can have sexually transmitted infections that, if they're viral or whatnot, that ain't going away, completely permanent to you. That's terrifying. It causes divorce and breakup and heartache when you're sexually prowling around when you shouldn't be. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things to be careful of, because this world is not perfect at all. It's fallen, and it's gonna get back up. And when that happens, it's gonna happen when Jesus comes back. And that's why I'm trying to convey the message that he is the King of Kings. And I'm a very, 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 very sinful person. I don't deserve any kind of forgiveness one bit, but he loves me just as much as he loves you, as he loves every other person scattered across this little rock floating in space. What are we talking about? How is, like, oh my gosh. Everything is mind-boggling when you really consider it all. The fact that I'm able to use vocal cords and muscles to vibrate air in a specific way that this little thin thin brick, super thin brick, it can take, and it can store it, and then I can transfer it to my laptop, which I can then edit it, and then I can post online for anybody to see ever, as long as it doesn't get taken down. I mean, that's insane, right? So the story of Jesus coming in human form as God, 100% divine, 100% man, the story of that happening, never sinning, walking on water, making whatever amount of food feed a ridiculous amount of people, just fish and loaves of bread, and then eventually dying on the cross, resurrecting and promising eternal life. That doesn't sound that crazy when you already think of what else is crazy. We have fingernails that grow non-stop. Right now, since I hit record to now, my fingernails are longer. And it's such a hard material. Isn't it like keratin? It's such a hard material, and it just comes shooting out of my fingers like this, and it's normal. And look at the fact of my, I mean, again, you look at anything. Look at my hoodie. This is probably 100% cotton. Guess what? Do you know what cotton usually looks like? It's like a, how would you describe cotton to somebody that's never seen cotton? It's a pillow shrunken down to the size of a marshmallow and is extremely soft and, what is that? I guess you'd say unstable, right? Like cotton, you can just, the fact that you can, I digress, but the fact that you can turn this into this is outstanding. And that's crazy too. Thank you very much for watching. We got a little bit out of hand here, but I thought I could have just totally spilled this water. I hit it with my leg. The fact that I didn't do a precise word for word Bible transcription by voice and have it on recording, I thought that this might be nice to just kind of talk and share thoughts. Again, like I said, consider whether or not I enjoy it and want to continue to pursue. And I do. It's fun. I said this in an earlier video, but I used to have a speech impediment when I was younger, and now you can't get me to shut up. It's like I have such a pretty tongue. Humbly, thank you, God. I mean, just look at me. I'm 6'3". I used to be 5. I mean, everybody used to be shorter than they are now. I used to be 5'3" coming into high school. I grew a foot and not very long at all. I had a speech impediment, and I can now very, very precisely convey thoughts and pronunciate First Chronicles. I mean, that's outstanding. That's amazing. That's miraculous. This is the first time I've ever publicly announced to the world that I had cancer as a baby. And although I don't remember anything exactly from the experience itself, I certainly remember the repercussions of going to a children's hospital often to do checkups and blood work, make sure that, you know, my one kidney is still rocking and rolling. But that's another thing. I'm just a walking miracle. We all are. We all have our own stories. And the fact that we're here, we're here, we're alive. Oh my gosh. Look at this. I can drink water. I'm mostly this. Mostly, what is it, like 70 or some percent? Not the plastic. Dummy. Right? And from this, what my body doesn't need, it'll use it to take the toxins out. Imagine, we have a heart that's beating constantly, air in our lungs, autonomy over our anatomy. That was fun. Autonomy over our anatomy. I am so confident that God is real. He loves you very much and earnestly desires to have a relationship with you, his own child. Do you understand the significance of that? Being made in God's image and likeness, you are his work of art, his creation. It's a masterpiece. Look at us. Look at all the things that we can do with this sack of flesh and bones, and the fact that all of this, I said that like I got a lot to offer, but all of this, my entire body, was once a single cell conjoined by sperm and egg. Oh my gosh. Imagine. God bless you.